I'm in GT, my brother is Broly. Chapter 116 Son Goku loses again, Son Gohan is seriously injured. With a loud bang, the evil thought wave was directly smashed to the ground by Son Goku again, splashing a large piece of dust. It's done. Dad suppressed him. 35. Seeing this, Son Gohan said with great excitement. On the contrary, the corners of Broly's mouth twitched, and his expression was a little changeable at the moment. Not for anything else, because he doesn't have instant transmission. This also means that it is impossible to use instant transmission to compete with evil thought wave. At the same time, this also means that he should have dragged Son Goku down before, otherwise, the latter has the ability to fight against him. Thinking of this, Broly clenched his fists subconsciously, his eyes full of unwillingness. You know, his combat power is not comparable to Son Goku at all. But even so, he couldn't do anything about the evil thoughts wave, which also showed his own lack of fighting skills and means. Thinking of this, Broly looked at Bupa subconsciously and said, "Big brother, no need to worry." Seeing this, Bupa didn't know Broly's thoughts and smiled indifferently. Son Goku's instant transmission was studied on planet Natrad. After this incident is over, you can also go to planet Natrad to learn similar methods. It is said that planet Natrad has a lot of special skills, including instant transmission and fusion dance moves. When you learn the means, you will definitely be able to completely make up for your lack of ability. Hearing this, Broly suddenly realized. Immediately afterwards, a flash of determination flashed in his eyes. "Brother, I will listen to you." Having said that, Broly immediately dispersed and transformed into a form, looked at Son Goku in the field and said, "With the current situation, Kakarot should be able to defeat him." Beat 35. Hearing this, Bupa shook his head and said immediately, "You forgot what I just said. The limit of the first form of evil thoughts wave may not be as good as Son Goku. But if he transforms into the second form, then Son Goku is no match for him at all. And even now, unless Son Goku completes his Super Saiyan 3 transformation, he's not 100% overpowered." Hearing this, Broly and Son Gohan both shuddered. If it is as Bupa said, then this wave of evil thoughts is really difficult to deal with. Evil thought wave. Evil thought wave. On the ground, the low roar of Xinyambo resounded. It can be seen that his head slowly stretched out and returned to normal, looked up at Son Goku in midair, and immediately activated the instant transmission ability again. The next second, the evil thought wave appeared in the area behind Son Goku. It can be seen that his mouth is open, and a beam of light is quietly converging to attack Son Goku. "Dad, be careful." Seeing this, Son Gohan hurriedly shouted, his eyes full of worry, and Son Goku also felt the crisis at this moment, and subconsciously raised his hand to start the instant transmission again. However, an accident happened at this moment. It can be seen that a black hole quietly emerges around Xinyambo's body, which directly interrupts Son Goku's instant transmission. At this moment, the beam of light in the mouth of Xinyambo broke through the air and attacked Son Goku's back. Not good. The instant transmission was interrupted, and Son Goku felt the crisis for the first time, and hurriedly turned around and raised his arms to block. The next second, the beam hit Son Goku's arm. The screams resounded, and Son Goku was clearly seen flying out, his arms dripping with blood. The beam not only pierced through his arm, but even pierced through his left shoulder. Dad. This scene directly made Son Gohan exclaimed. The next second, Son Gohan directly activated Super Saiyan 2 to transform. The low roar resounded, and the chi around Son Gohan became violent. The Super 2 full power was activated, and the combat power directly interrupted the 15 trillion point. Immediately afterwards, Son Gohan jumped out of the spot, raising countless Kaigong bullets with both hands and attacking Xinyambo, trying to stop him from continuing to attack Son Goku. The wave of evil thoughts. Evil thought wave. However, the evil thought wave at this moment is also shouting again, and it can be seen that the black hole around him has reappeared. The next second, all the Kaigong bullets that Son Gohan attacked were absorbed by the black hole. Before Son Gohan came back to his senses, a black hole appeared quietly in the area behind him. Call out! Call out! The sound of breaking through the air resounded, and countless Kaigong bullets flew out from it and attacked Son Gohan's body directly. Rumbling, a deafening roar resounded, and the countless Kaigong bullets burst, and Son Gohan fell out of it covered in blood. At the same time as it smashed to the ground, a scream broke out in his mouth. A badge. Gohan. This scene directly made Son Goku in the distance squinted. The next second, Son Goku resisted the pain in his arm and launched instant transmission. After arriving at Son Gohan's place, he took him directly towards Bupa and Broly's place. At this moment, Son Goku knew that he was defeated. At the same time, Son Gohan has also been defeated, and the black hole ability mastered by Xinyambo is too powerful and defying the sky. It directly caused their father and son to be completely incapable of fighting, at least not according to the current situation. Broly, go. Seeing this, Bupa shook his head, and then said, the black hole of Xinyambo can transfer Kaigong bullets and activate methods such as instant transmission. 5. The only way you can beat him is in close quarters. Yes. Hearing this, Broly looked solemn. Looking at Son Goku and Son Gohan's embarrassed appearance, his inner emotions were also extremely solemn. Immediately afterwards, Broly entered the state of anger and the form of Quan Jiao Tu again, and jumped straight to attack the evil thought wave. Xeniambo, give me death! The loud shout resounded, and Broly's whole body became violent, and the whole person quickly arrived at the evil thought wave. Immediately afterwards, Broly's fist attacked Xeniambo's body like a storm. Bang bang bang! The continuous crashing sound resounded, and Broly, who went all out, instantly suppressed the wave of evil thoughts. With a combat power of about 300 trillion, it was so hard that the wave of evil thoughts could not dodge, and could not transfer itself with the ability of a black hole. But even so, Broly's attack had little effect. The resilience of Xeniambo is too strong, and the ability to be almost immortal makes Broly helpless directly. Master Bupa. At this time, Son Goku hurriedly came to Bupa's side, holding Son Gohan who was in pain and said, "Do you still have fairy beans in your hand?" Gohan was caught off guard by his own Kaigong bullet, and Xiandu had to be able to recover from his injuries. Here. 35. Hearing this, Bupa didn't hesitate, took out 2 fairy beans and threw them to Son Goku and said, "Eat it, dog." If Broly can't help the evil thoughts wave, then you and Son Gohan try it out. Chapter 117 Broly's Final Flash, The Birth of Super Evil Thoughts. Add. Combine. Hearing this, Son Goku was taken aback. Subconsciously glanced at Broly, who was suppressing the evil thoughts wave not far away, and said in surprise, "Impossible." 99. Broly has suppressed him now. Can Xeniambo still be able to turn over? Although he was puzzled, Son Goku did not hesitate, and quickly took out a fairy bean and put it into Son Gohan's mouth. Gyudu. The pained look on Son Gohan's face was relieved after Xiandu's stomach. Immediately afterwards, Son Gohan's injuries can be seen rapidly recovering, and his tightly closed eyes are also opened. "Dad, sorry, I lost." Having said that, Son Gohan lowered his head and looked a little sad. Unexpectedly, he was defeated without even attacking Xeniambo, which was definitely a huge blow to Son Gohan. "It's okay, Gohan." Seeing this situation, Son Goku hurriedly opened his mouth to comfort him. "The ability of the evil mind wave is special, and you will be attacked by him if you are not prepared. WWBB. But next time such an adventure will not be allowed." Speaking of which, Son Goku's eyes were full of love. After all, Son Gohan did this to save him, so it can be said that he is a true father and son. Speaking, Son Goku coughed a few more times, blood spilled from the corners of his mouth, and his injuries were not optimistic. However, Son Goku didn't care too much. He stretched out his hand and took the remaining Onino fairy beans and put it into his mouth. Gyudu. As Xiandu swallowed, Son Goku's injuries began to recover, and his complexion also recovered. FK fight. At the same time, Broly's low roar continued to resound in the distance. As his movements became faster and faster, he could clearly see the Xeniambo body in the area in front of him bursting rapidly. After Xeniambo's body was almost shattered, Broly didn't hesitate, raised his hand suddenly and shouted, "Final Flash, ha!" The next second, the Final Flash burst. As a grass-green ki blast swept through, it immediately covered Xeniambo's body. For a time, countless evil spirits were annihilated. As the flash continued, the aura of Xeniambo began to slump rapidly. "It's done. Broly is going to win." This scene immediately excited Son Goku and Son Gohan. Judging from the current situation, it should be impossible for Xeniambo to continue to survive. Although Bupa has previously said that the power of Xeniambo is more than that, but Son Goku believes that Broly can succeed. However, the reality is cruel. With the passage of time, the chi of the evil thought wave under the Final Flash has begun to gradually stabilize. Moreover, the countless evil auras began to gather, allowing the Final Flash to attack, but it did not mean to collapse. Not only that, but in just a few breaths, the aura of the evil thought wave that was already rapidly sluggish, is now rising steadily. What's the situation? Why did Xeniambo's chi start to rise? Seeing this situation, the expressions of Son Goku and Son Gohan changed greatly, and the two of them stared at the area where the evil thought's aura was. There, a pink figure could be vaguely seen standing, surrounded by evil spirits. Broly's Final Flash was directly blocked. Coming, the second form of evil thought wave. On the contrary, Bupa's eyes flashed at the moment, and his expression was quite indifferent. The next is the final battle. 5. Whether Broly can go any further is up to the moment. Seemingly confirmed Bupa's words. At this moment, within the area surrounded by evil energy, a sword energy quietly broke through the air. The next second, the Final Flash was directly divided into two. The evil sword aura was rampant, and the target was directly aimed at the area where Broly was located. Not good. When the crisis hit, Broly's face changed quietly. Immediately afterwards, Broly didn't care about anything else, and hurriedly dodged to the side. Puff. However, although Broly evaded for the first time, he was still affected by the sword energy at the moment. It can be seen that blood splattered on his arms, and he snorted and held back, without making a sound. But his eyes were also fixed on the area not far away, and he gritted his teeth. Second form, evil thought wave. Evil thought wave. It seemed to confirm Broly's words, and the evil energy in the distance burst, showing that the wave of evil thoughts that had transformed into the second form came out of it. The whole person seems to be extremely precise, holding a blood-red long sword, and the whole body exudes a strong murderous intent. In an instant, the energy of the evil thought wave spewed out, and the terrifying fluctuations swept the world. The entire area, no, the entire underworld trembled violently. So strong. That's the second form of evil thought wave. How can it be so strong? 99. Staring blankly at this scene, Son Goku and Son Gohan subconsciously exclaimed, their eyes filled with disbelief. Not only them, including Broly was also dumbfounded, never expected that this evil thought wave would be so terrifying after going all out. This gas. It's really not to be underestimated. Stronger than I expected. Buppa's expression also changed, and immediately said, System, check the information of Xenianbo. In the next second, the information of Xenianbo appeared again. Super evil thought wave. Race, devil. Combat power, 3000 trillion. Transformation, first form, second form. Ability, wormhole, clone technique, prediction, sword chi, weapon reorganization. Good guy. Directly to the point of 3000 megabytes. 35. This power is completely beyond Broly's ability to contend. After reading the information of super evil Nianbo at the moment, Buppa's mouth twitched slightly. I thought that Xenianbo's all-out efforts were within the range of 100 megabytes at most, but he did not expect it to reach the level of full gigabytes. In this way, even Gigata in the original must at least reach the Super 3 form to defeat him. Thinking of this, Buppa didn't hesitate, stepped forward and said, Broly, come back. You're not his opponent, then hand over to me. If it is only about 100 trillion combat power, Buppa can let Broly take this opportunity to exercise himself. Not to mention the completion of Quenkao 3 transformation. At least it can reach the state of Quenkao 2 full power, but the power of the super evil wave has reached 3000 trillion, and it is only in the case of no outbreak, so it makes no sense to continue to let Broly fight with it. Brother. Hearing this, Broly clenched his fists subconsciously. He also felt the power of the super evil thought wave in front of him, but let him give up just like that. Broly said that he could not do it. Chapter 118. Broly loses again. Buppa comes to the rescue. After a little pondering, Broly gritted his teeth sharply and said, Brother, please give me another chance. I want to try it out. Please. Hearing this, Buppa frowned. Broly's limit is not enough to resist the current super evil thoughts wave. But since he insists so much, Buppa can't stop anything. After a little pondering, Buppa stopped stepping forward, raised his head and said, Then, you are trying once. If you're failing, come back. 99. It is good. After receiving Buppa's reply, Broly breathed a sigh of relief, and the corners of his mouth rose slightly. Immediately afterwards, Broly no longer hesitated, turned to look at Broly not far away, clenched his fists and shouted, 5 times Kaioken. In the next second, Scarlet S spewed out. 5 times the Kaioken is activated, and Broly is surrounded by red and green chi, and the whole person's aura rapidly begins to rise at this moment. 600 trillion, 900 trillion, 1200 trillion, 1500 trillion. Soon, Broly's combat power reached 1500 trillion. At this moment, Broly's aura was violent, and his muscles were constantly wriggling, and he could vaguely see his grim face, which looked extremely painful. Obviously, the superimposed damage of the 5 times Kaioken and Quenjiao 2 modes is huge, so Broly's current physical strength can't last long. No nonsense. Broly could clearly feel that he wouldn't last long. Immediately afterwards, Broly jumped out violently, attacking the super evil thought wave rapidly. Quack. Find the target and destroy you. In this regard, the super evil thought wave also lost Broly at the first time, and rushed forward with the sword. In the next second, the two figures fought together in midair. Rumble 1. Rumbling. The deafening roar not only resounded, but the battle between the two figures became more and more fierce, even destroying dozens of miles in a short period of time. So strong, really strong. Broly has actually been able to perform 5 times the Kaioken. Watching this scene, Son Goku and Son Gohan couldn't help shouting. Whether it is super evil thought wave or Broly, the anger they are showing at the moment is too terrifying. Even under the influence of this force, they could clearly feel the oppression that was enough to make them tremble. Under such circumstances, the fighting spirit in Son Goku and Son Gohan became stronger and stronger. Seeing the intensifying battle on the field, Son Goku subconsciously said, Gohan, do you want to fusion with Dad? Hearing this, Son Gohan subconsciously looked at where Son Goku was. After seeing the look in his eyes full of fighting intent, Son Gohan also clenched his fists and said, Dad, I'm willing to fuse with you. I also look forward to Kakaro Rice to defeat Super Evil Thought Wave. Hearing this, Son Goku suddenly laughed. Immediately afterwards, he said directly, well, when the Broly fight is over, we will start fusion. Unanimous opinion. Son Goku and Son Gohan are both in a good mood, and they look at the area in the field again. Their eyes are full of anticipation. In response, Buppa on the side shook his head with a smile. To be honest, he was also looking forward to the appearance of kakaro rice. After all, it is almost impossible for Son Goku and Vegeta to become Gogeta or Vegeta in this universe. But it goes without saying that Son Goku and Son Gohan and Fusion are in no way inferior to Vegeta and Gogeta. Moreover, the basic combat power of Son Goku and Son Gohan is around 7 billion. After the two merge with each other, I'm afraid it will be even more terrifying. A badge. At this moment, a scream came quietly. Looking at the sound, it can be seen that Broly's chest area was cut open by a sword energy at this moment. Blood splattered, and the whole person fell to the ground from midair like a broken string kite, smashing hard on the ground and splashing a large piece of dust. Broly immediately exited the Kaioken state, and even the form of Quan Jiao 2 could not be maintained, and the whole person lay there in pain. Failed? Seeing this, Buppa's eyes flashed with helplessness. He knew that would be the case, after all, although Broly was very powerful after casting Kaioken. But in the final analysis, there is still a certain gap with Super Evil Thought Wave. In the final analysis, Broly's basic combat power is still too poor. It seems that after leaving, Broly will be sent to the time house to practice for a period of time. 0 flowers 0. Saiyan can practice for 10 years in the time house, and now Broly is only in his 20s, and he is only in the growth stage. If he comes out of the time house, his power should be able to reach a higher level. Having made up his mind, Buppa spoke immediately. Son Goku, Son Gohan, you can start. Saying that, he swayed and flew towards Broly. Gohan, Dad. Seeing this situation, Son Goku and Son Gohan looked at each other, and without any hesitation, they quickly started to perform fusion dance moves. At the same time, Super Evil Thought Wave has no intention of stopping. It can be seen that his eyes are locked on the location of Broly on the ground, and he raises the long sword in his hand, and an evil sword chi bursts into the air and attacks Broly. 0. Not good. When the crisis hit, Broly's face changed drastically. He could feel the terrifying power of that evil sword energy, and if it hit him, the consequences would be disastrous. But at the moment he didn't have any strength to dodge. He could only watch the evil sword chi attack. Finished? Are you going to die? For a time, Broly's eyes were full of despair, and at the same time, an unwilling and violent aura was also boiling rapidly. Broken. In the nick of time, Buppa's figure arrived in the area where Broly was. In the next second, Buppa's figure grew to more than 3 meters, and the whole person directly entered a state of anger. At this moment, Buppa's combat power immediately reached 4.5 trillion. Immediately afterwards, Buppa directly activated Quan Jiao 2 to transform, and his grass-green energy spewed out at this moment. In just an instant, Buppa's combat power soared to 4,500 trillion. Without the slightest hesitation, Buppa smashed out the attacking evil sword energy with a single punch. Broly. After dismissing the evil sword energy, Buppa turned his head to look at the ground and Broly said, "Are you still going to lie down, big brother?" 99. Hearing Buppa's voice, Broly opened his eyes abruptly and looked at Buppa who was bursting out in front of him. His eyes instantly filled with excitement. For a while, the violent chi in his body gradually subsided, and the whole person said with a sad expression, "I'm sorry, I lost." 7. Chapter 119 Super 2 Kakaro Rice. The 18 layers of hell that was penetrated. At this moment, Broly looked sad. Although he knew from the beginning that he didn't have much chance of winning, it was still difficult for him to accept that he was defeated by Super Evil Nianbo. Too slack, Broly. Seeing this, Buppa frowned. Broly's strength has improved rapidly, but his mood is also obviously insufficient. It's just a failure that looks like this. If this is allowed to continue, then the super bloodline of this body will be completely abolished. For a while, Buppa couldn't care about other things, and immediately scolded, "What is a failure? Continue to go back to practice to become stronger and win back. If you still look like you're going to die or live, it can only prove that I made a wrong decision to save you this time." As soon as these words came out, Broly's body trembled violently on the ground. As Buppa said, his current form of 090 is too cowardly. Subconsciously, Broly's expression became solemn, and he said, "I know, eldest brother, fusion. Before Broly could finish speaking, 2 low roars came from a distance. Looking at the reputation, it can be seen that Son Goku and Son Gohan have completed fusion at this moment. With a white brilliance, the figures of Son Goku and Son Gohan fused together, and the combined warrior Kakaro Rice was born. After the transformation was successful, Kakaro Fan no longer hesitated, and jumped to the area in the arena, and said, "Lord Buppa, please leave this super evil thought to me next." After finishing speaking, Kakaro Fan suddenly shouted, "Ha!" In the next second, Kakaro Rice directly entered the state of Super Saiyan 2, and quickly attacked the super evil thought wave in the distance. Quack quack, a new target that destroys you. Seeing this situation, Super Evil Thought Bo kept grinning, ignoring the presence of Buppa and Broly on the ground, and slaying Kakaro with his sword. Almost instantly, The two figures fought together in midair. The shadows of fists in the sky are constantly attacking from the hands of Kakaro, and the super evil mind wave wielding the long sword is also constantly evil sword energy on a battlefield. For a time, the violent sword energy spread all around, and the battle between Kakaro and super evil thought wave became more and more fierce. But on the whole, the super evil thought wave at the moment has obviously lost a bit. It can even be clearly seen that there are countless scars all over his body, which are all caused by the fist of Kakaro. Rao is due to the resilience of the super evil mind wave's almost immortal body, and it is actually difficult to repair it quickly at this moment. So strong. The Kakaro meal after the fusion of these two guys is really strong. Broly stared at the Kakaro rice in midair, his eyes full of fighting intent, and he clenched his fists and said, "Sure enough, this is the opponent I really want to defeat. What super evil thoughts wave is just a hindrance for me at this stage, and it will be enough to kill it after I practice for a while." Seeing this, Bupa nodded with satisfaction. Broly has managed to regain his confidence, which is definitely good news. Thinking of this, Bupa's eyes flashed a flash of war, and he looked at the Kakaro and said, "System, check the Kakaro information." In the next second, the information of Kakaro rice appeared in front of his eyes. Kakaro rice, race, combined Saiyan, add, bloodline, superior bloodline, combat power, 5,600 trillion. Transformation, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, ability, Kamemiya wave, instant transmission, Kaioken, spirit bomb, 5,600 trillion combat power. That is to say, the normal combat power of Kakaro has reached 56 trillion. After reading the information on the Kakaro meal, Bupa was thoughtful. According to this calculation, the combat power of the current Kakaro rice can be increased by 4 times. That is to say, in the case of transforming into Super Saiyan 3, Kakaro combat power will reach as much as 2 Kyoto. Moreover, Kakaro rice will also have Kaioken, even if it can't display 10 times Kaioken at this stage. But I'm afraid it can reach the level of 2 or 3 times. In this way, Rao is afraid that Bupa's current strength may not be able to completely take it down. Broly. Subconsciously, Bupa looked aside and said, "Broly, looks like you still have a long way to go to defeat Kakaro." With that said, Bupa took out a fairy bin and threw it to Broly. "Eat it. After this matter is resolved, you will go to the time house on Earth to practice for a while. 0. Gouda. After eating fairy beans, Broly's injuries recovered. But he didn't care about this at the moment, but looked at Bupa in confusion and said, "Time house? Big brother, is that a place where you have been practicing for a year inside and only 1 day has passed outside?" Broly also knew about the time house. After all, Son Goku said about the time house when he was at Namek. It's just that Broly hasn't paid much attention to it all this time, and now Bupa actually said that he was going to practice in it, which made him a little surprised. "Not bad." 35. Nodding, Bupa's eyes flashed, and then he said, "In your current situation, the gap between trying to catch up with Kakaro rice is too great, and it's extremely difficult to improve the Quanjiao mode, so you must cultivate your own combat power." 35. And the time house is the key to catching up with Kakaro rice as quickly as possible. "I see, big brother." Nodding, Broly said solemnly, "I will definitely practice hard. After 10 days, I will definitely master the combat power of Kakaro." 99. Looking at the confident Broly, the corners of Bupa's mouth rose slightly. 10 years. As long as Broly has been practicing in the time house for 10 years, his combat power improvement is absolutely terrifying. And by virtue of the existence of the system, his combat power can also increase 10 times that of Broly. 0.7. This is enough for him to ensure that he is still invincible, even a fit warrior like Kakaro is not his opponent. Evil thought wave. At this moment, a low roar came. Looking at the reputation, it can be seen that the chi around Xinianbo is violent, and the whole person directly soars 10 times. In an instant, a terrifying evil aura rages. Xinianbo's entire body's combat power then reached the level of 3 capitals. With one sword, a huge sword aura of hundreds of meters swept out, directly forcing Kakaro to use instant transmission to dodge. In the next second, the evil sword chi burst out of the air, and the place it passed was a mess, and the entire 18 layers of hell was instantly pierced by this sword. Countless evil spirits were annihilated, and countless evil breaths surging from various areas began to sweep towards the super evil thought wave. Chapter 120. Dangerous situation. Bupa shot. Not good. Seeing this, Bupa's expression changed quietly. The previous super evil thought wave just absorbed the evil energy in the 18th layer of hell. Now the evil energy in the upper area has also begun to gather towards him, which means that once it is completely absorbed, its strength will continue to grow. Not really good news. You know, whether it's Kakaro or Bupa's own ultimate combat power, it's at the level of a few Beijing. Now the super evil mind wave's combat power has reached the level of 3 Beijing. If it continues to climb, even Bupa may not be able to get the other party. No, he must be dealt with as soon as possible. 99. With a flash of light in his eyes, Bupa immediately raised his head and said, "Kakaro rice, Back off, Master Bupa. Hearing this, Kakaro-fan was stunned for a moment, then he seemed to have thought of something, and gritted his teeth abruptly. I still have the strength to fight. Saying that, Kakaro-fan clenched his fists suddenly, and burst out in his mouth, ha. In the next second, the world shook. It can be clearly seen that the hair of Kakaro Rice grows rapidly, the eyebrows disappear at this moment, and the whole person also enters the form 20 of Super Saiyan 3. In an instant, Kakaro-fan's gas surged, and it immediately reached the level of 2.1 Beijing. After doing all this, Kakaro snorted again, double middle dot Kaioken. 35. The crimson chi spewed out, Kaioken activated, and the chi of Kakaro Rice also increased to the level of 4.2 Q. Enough. Feeling his own strength, Kakaro clenched his fists, and then without any hesitation, he suddenly attacked the super evil thought wave again. Evil thought wave. Add the wave of evil thoughts. 35. Seeing this situation, super evil Niambo was not afraid, and immediately picked up his longsword and went up to him. In the next second, the two figures fought together again in midair. The collision of 3 Beijing and 4 Beijing's combat power should have been the absolute advantage of Kakaro Rice. But with the outbreak of the battle, although the attack of Kakaro Rice was strong, the injuries caused by the attack on the body of super evil Niambo were also getting smaller and smaller. Not only that, the super evil thought wave was constantly absorbing the evil energy that fell from the sky during the battle. This also caused the power of the super evil thought wave to continue to soar, getting stronger every moment, like a bottomless pit with no limit. Big brother. On the ground, Broly immediately noticed something was wrong, and his expression changed slightly. The power of that super evil thought wave is rapidly increasing. 35. And the speed of improvement is extremely fast. What is going on? Hearing this, Bupa glanced at Broly, and then said with a serious face, that's evil. The birth of Xenianbo is based on the evil spirit, and he just absorbed the accumulated evil spirit. But now the 18th floor of hell was pierced by his sword, which also caused the evil energy in the upper area to gather towards him. So, under such circumstances, the power of the super evil thought wave is soaring rapidly. 35. I see. There was a flash of surprise in his eyes, and Broly suddenly understood what was going on. Immediately afterwards, his eyes turned to Bupa and said, brother, doesn't it have to be resolved as soon as possible? If not, the consequences would be unimaginable. Good. Nodding, Bupa took a deep breath and said, it's time to get it all sorted out. Saying that, Bupa stepped forward and immediately started transforming. Ha. The low roar resounded. Bupa activated the state of anger and passed Super 2, and the power of the whole person directly reached the level of 4,500 trillion. After finishing all this, Bupa did not hesitate, and immediately launched Kaioken. 10 times the Kaioken was activated, and Bupa's combat power immediately reached the level of 4,5 Jing. After doing all this, Bupa jumped out suddenly, and quickly appeared in the air. Raising his hand, Bupa shot out a mass of chi in his hand, directly forcing the super evil thought wave and Kakaro Rice back, who were fighting together. After all this was done, Bupa floated forward and said, Kakaro, leave. 99. You can't help him. Nian. You activate Spirit Bomb now to purify all the evil spirits in the whole hell. 35. Spirit Bomb. Purify evil spirits. Hearing this, Kakaro-fan was stunned, and then instantly became enlightened. Spirit Bomb is the nemesis of evil. Now these evil spirits continue to bless the body of super evil thought wave, which leads to his strength becoming more and more brave. If Spirit Bomb destroys all evil spirits, does that mean it can be solved? I see. Almost instantly, Kakaro-fan reacted and folded his fist towards Bupa and said, Lord Bupa, then I'll go first. After saying that, Kakaro-fan pulled back and galloped towards Broly. After floating to the ground, Kakaro immediately raised his hand and started to cast Spirit Bomb. You are their king. At this moment, super evil Niambo suddenly opened his mouth and pointed at Bupa with murderous intent in his eyes. He has completely evolved his mind, and his strength has far exceeded the original period. He didn't say anything else before, because he knew very well whether Broly or Kakaro was the most difficult existence. Has the intellect been born? 090. With a flash of light in his eyes, Bupa took a deep look at Super Xeniambo, and then said, it seems that this king still underestimates you. Come on, let me see your strength. 35. Saying that, Bupa hooked his hand at the super evil thought wave. Hearing this, super evil Niambo's eyes flashed with murderous intent, and he slashed with his sword, and a huge sword chi attacked directly towards Bupa. Break. 35. In this regard, Bupa did not have the slightest fear. He stepped forward and blasted out the attacking evil sword energy directly. Immediately afterwards, Bupa felt a slight pain in the back of his hand. The power of super evil thought wave is above 5 Jing, which also causes the gap between Bupa and Bupa is quite large. Even with the blessing of Kaioken, there is still a certain gap between the two sides. Your strength is no more than that. Seeing this, Super Xeniambo revealed some disdain in his eyes, and immediately said, I already felt it. 5. Your power is only stronger than the kakaro rice just now. With your current strength, you can't be my opponent at all. 99. With that said, Super Xianbo's whole body was obviously relieved. Obviously, he was quite afraid of Bupa before. But at this moment, his heart was completely relieved, and the emphasis on Bupa also dissipated. If you like this audiobook, subscribe the channel for more videos like this. And join my Patreon if you want to support me, where you can find advanced audiobooks that hasn't been uploaded on YouTube till now. Leave some comment and let me know if you guys like this story, or you have a web novel you like and want to hear its audiobook. I will be happy to create them for you. Please like, share, and leave a comment on the video.